What's happening, people? Naughty Morty here, back again with another Battlefield 2042 video. The beta's finally wrapped up and I wanted to put out this video straight away. I was fortunate that I got the opportunity to play the beta on both the PC and the PlayStation 5 and kind of wanted to wrap my thoughts up on both the platforms, give you a bit of a trade-off and a comparison between the two, just so you've got an idea of what my thoughts were on both platforms. Just to preface this video though, this isn't a PC versus console war that I'm starting, I'm just giving my impressions and overall opinions on how the game performed on both platforms. Just to make you aware as well, I played with crossplay enabled on both occasions, playing across both platforms, so I was still playing against console and PC players. So to kick things off, the PC is probably where I spent the majority of my time, being primarily a PC gamer myself. And generally speaking, I really enjoyed my time spent on the beta with the PC. Regarding performance issues, I didn't have any particular problems and was able to play the game comfortably on medium to low settings given my PC specs, but I do know a number of people who had issues with significantly better PCs than mine and were having significantly worse frame rate and performance problems. Suffice to say though, I didn't really experience that myself, so I can't really comment as my overall impressions were good. In terms of any kind of game-breaking bugs and glitches, again, didn't really experience too much on the PC side and nothing that really negatively impacted my experience. The only thing that kept happening on the PC is potentially when loading into servers I'd spawn underneath the map would have to quit out and find a new game. Overall networking on the PC with hit reg and things of that nature, networking issues like rubber banding and hit registration I didn't particularly notice on PC either and felt that it was pretty consistent across all the hours that I played. Graphically speaking, even playing on low settings on PC, I thought the game looked stunning. The weather effects and ambient occlusion, ray tracing, etc. was beautiful to behold. Now switching tact a little bit in talking about the PlayStation 5 and my experience on the console, I'll be honest, it really wasn't that good in comparison to PC. My significantly worse gameplay aside, there were a lot of issues on the PlayStation 5 that I really didn't notice on the PC. First and foremost, textures just were not loading into the map. This made it increasingly difficult to see people, and I echo the sentiment of console players that were speaking out on Twitter about this, because it was very difficult to make out character models on the enemy team. I also suffered with some brightness issues whereby I would load into the game and the game would be so bright that I wouldn't be able to see the map or general surroundings, in which case I would then drop the brightness all the way down, but meant when the storm rolled in I then again couldn't see the map or the general surroundings in game. Something else which I experienced on the PlayStation 5 version but didn't really see on PC is a very strange stuttering flashbang effect. I'm not too sure what was causing this, but it did keep occurring pretty regularly while I was playing. One thing to be said though, I did try out some of the vehicles playing on PlayStation 5 and there was significantly less stuttering than there was on the PC version, especially when sitting in gunner seats rather than being a pilot or driver. I don't know whether to attribute that to being able to use a controller with joysticks rather than using a mouse and keyboard, so we'll have to wait to see for the final release to judge that one. Weighing both the two options up in my head at least, I definitely will be sticking with the PC version for the foreseeable and will be picking that up first and foremost at launch. Again, we know that the build was a few months old, but during my time there were quite a number of issues on the PlayStation 5 again in comparison to the PC, which would probably put me off picking up the game at least immediately. Please let me know your thoughts as well though. I'd be keen to hear if you played across multiple platforms or what you thought during your time in the game generally. I am planning a significantly longer video for next weekend where I really do a deep dive into the beta, get down to the nitty gritty of my thoughts and feelings across the board and generally how I am feeling towards the game going into the launch month. So do look out in your sub boxes for that. I really appreciate your time, thanks very much for watching, I'll be sure to catch you in the next one.